Well, I called it yesterday that Christian was the odds-on favorite to win HOH. I thought it was looking pretty clear that even if it was a crapshoot, it was going to be a crapshoot designed for a King's win. Production is not slick. They favor this showmance right now because the show favors showmance as it is, but they constantly keep this boring showmance on the feed so much. And, you know, there is now more Black House guests than White House guests. So, Grodner and Meehan, we're going to try to do something about that. So I thought it was pretty clear we were looking at a Christian or Alyssa HOH. And this might not be what people want to hear, but if the next week is the wall comp, I could see this boring showman's winning back-to-back HOHs. But hopefully someone will show out next week. But it's definitely bad that 15 of the last 18 HOHs on this show over the last two seasons are men. I think that it definitely tells you there's something wrong with the production of these competitions. And I don't even know the stats on veto, but it's a lot of dudes as well. Let's actually talk about Claire for a second. In the wee hours of the morning, yesterday, that would be wee hours of the morning, Thursday morning, Claire once again talked to the cameras for a while. And Claire is one thing in this game. She is kind of aware and more self-aware. She's the one who is iffy about Kyland. She's the one who knows that if she goes to the end with Tiffany, she probably loses. She now thinks she needs to start to distance from Tiffany because they're going to be seen as a duo. And she realizes she needs to start getting closer to other people in this game that aren't just Tiffany. But the bad thing about Claire in this game, she might be self-aware, but she has yet to been able to implement any of her good ideas. She just sticks to the same program and just does whatever Tiffany says. Now, she does try to drive Tiffany in certain directions, especially when it comes to Kylan now. She has tunnel vision on Kylan. That is, Claire has tunnel vision that Kylan is a huge threat in this game, and she keeps trying to push Tiffany in that direction. But other than that, Claire is yet to really play her own damn game. But I guess that is a problem in general with this stupid team twist that just won't end. I'm so glad this is the last week. I'm ready to see an individual game. But unfortunately, we're still stuck with this for another week. And we're stuck with the Bormans as HOH, I'm glad this is the week that the bar match is HOH because I'm gonna have to miss at least one day of this coverage, if not two, because I have some traveling I need to do. So next week I won't be able to do this as consistently as I have been, I've surprised myself with how consistent I've been able to do it. But next week on either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one or two of those days, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So Sarah Beth's game continues to fall apart, I think. Earlier in the day, before the feeds cut for the live show, Sarah Beth was talked into the fact that she needs to throw the competition because a lot of people were saying, Kylan brought it up, of course, to her, that they don't want the Kings to win. Well, people clocked that Sarah Beth did a good chunk of that puzzle towards the end of that competition and didn't really do a good job throwing it. This is just what I've been saying about Sarah Beth's game a lot as it is that she truly has no real strategy in this game. I mean, she's already left with no real allies because Kylan's just using her, and she's put all of her eggs in that basket. But now, she's not even playing the good rat floater game because she's the one who's getting ratted out a lot. And now the one good thing that was going for her, she was not seen as a target, is no more. We got Tiffany has her eyes on her. Claire has her eyes on her because of Kylan ratting her out. Derek F. And then Derek X in the competition. He didn't want to be HOH, but he looked like he was throwing it just because he didn't want to be HOH. But he spent the whole week trying to put a target on the showmans only for him to then fuck up his own team's chance of winning HOH. I mean, I guess he was kind of in a hard spot because I don't think he wanted Whitney to win it either, but I think he would have liked Hannah to win it. But he just did poorly in throwing that, timing out the team. I don't know what Derek X is doing. Sometimes I just feel like he makes a step forward, but then two steps back in this game. There's been speculation because he made a comment to Hannah. He was kind of joking, though, that this is why he's lied about watching only 2 seasons. People are speculating, oh my God, maybe he's lied about it. Maybe he's watched a lot of seasons. Maybe he really knows the game. Either way, he's kind of out of his depth right now in the game again, in my opinion. Ozza and Tiffany have started to work out their relationship again. This is good because now I don't feel like I have to defend Ozza against the Tiffany stands anymore. They always talk shit about Ozza when Tiffany's always starting fires, like I said yesterday. But I would love a break from having to defend Ozza. I mean, I might have to take a break from a permanent break from defending Ozzy if she becomes a target this week. I don't think she'll become a target, but there's a shot she goes up on the block. We'll talk about the King's HOH plans in a second. I mean, it's not Christian's HOH right now. He's hardly in charge. Hannah just talks a lot. We've already established this a couple of videos ago. I've talked about Hannah just talking too much, not listening enough. Tonight, she was dropping the word cookout in conversations. I mean, it's a normal thing to do. And Hannah still does not know that's the real name because Ozza, when she slipped the name to Hannah, said that's just the name she calls the alliance in her head. But I just know when Hannah was dropping the word cookout, players in the cookout, something hit them. You know, there was a bit of nervousness when they heard Hannah talking about a cookout. Whitney has been doing a lot of ass kissing to the Kings tonight, specifically Christian and Xavier. I know she was annoying both Tiffany and Ozza with how much ass kissing she was doing to Xavier, especially since Ozza has a crush on Xavier. So that's a whole little soap opera mess of itself. Well, let's get to Christian as HOH. As HOH, when really Alyssa's going to try and control this HOH, and even Xavier and Sarah Beth are going to try as well. It honestly feels like Christian does not have a lot to say in his own HOH. The plan still stands to put up Hannah and Whitney, unless, of course, Whitney wins the wild card tomorrow, which will fuck up a whole lot of plans. And honestly, Xavier's still dumb for telling the Kings that they don't need to throw this competition. I don't really know what Xavier was getting at. I mean, I guess he's trying to stick to having both the cookout and the Kings. But having the showmance around so long is really dangerous. I don't understand. So even though most of the house wants Whitney gone, of course Sarah Beth and Alyssa are going to try to change the target to Hannah, put them both up, but have Hannah as the target. I mean, they won't know that that probably won't go as planned, and that Hannah would most likely have the votes to stay. So it would be a blindside for the rest of the Kings minus Xavier if that stands as the two nominations. Now, I thought, unfortunately, maybe Ozza would be the backup plan. And Derek F is being very, very paranoid because earlier in the week, he told Sarah Beth that he was thinking about putting up the showmance, and he's afraid Sarah Beth is going to rat him out, even though Sarah Beth has tunnel vision right now on getting Hannah out of the game. Now, for Christian's game, I think it's really stupid to target Hannah because him and Hannah actually do have a bit of a connection. So he would just be getting rid of a potential ally for him. But like I said, he's getting ran. He's basically getting run by the rest of the Kings, specifically Alyssa. And like I think I said, I thought Ozza might be the one to be the replacement nominee, especially if Whitney wins the wild card tomorrow, throwing a whole wrench in everybody's plan. But Christian and Alyssa are saying it would be Brittany yet again. And Xavier's saying if Brittany goes up again, they gotta just vote her out this time. I don't know. I do feel bad for Brittany. I'm not one of the ones. I think it's annoying that everybody online is like, "Oh my god, keep pairing Brittany up every week." I mean, I kind of get it for entertainment purposes, but I think she deserves a break. I would honestly love the Jokers to come out of this week without somebody being eliminated because they are the cracked team and they have been the team bringing the only real non-annoying entertainment, in my opinion. Derek F is such a mess. He's become super hilarious to me. Obviously, anybody who's watched any of my videos knows I'm very Team Azza. Now, Brittany, I said a few videos ago, I was done with her because she's been so fucking annoying. And I know if she's on the block again, it's going to be such a headache. But I would prefer the nomination to stay Whitney and Hannah, and then the HOH is blindsided when Hannah stays over Whitney, because it would finally be more of a split vote than a house vote that we've been seeing. But that's about as it stands right now. We have to see what happens in the wild card. Will Whitney win, throwing the big wrench into the King's plans? And honestly, will Ozza be dumb again and want to go up in Brit's place? I mean, I would hope not. I already can't defend those actions last week, and I certainly wouldn't be able to defend that again. But I would hope that she would not do that if she knows she's going to be up against Hannah, because that's definitely worst case scenario for the cookout. And I think it's a scenario that's still possible with the stupid wild card flop competition. And then veto, still anything could happen. Who could be safe? I also want to know what Whitney's game plan is going to be. She has some information. She could throw certain people under the bus, specifically Tiffany and Claire, with that whole alliance they tried to pull her in just 2 nights ago about the duos. I think Whitney, even though she's been very stupid in this game and very lost in this game, she's one of the people on to how all over the place Tiffany has been the last couple of weeks. But I don't know if that would change the King's mind any to put up Tiffany or Claire. So right now, as it stands, Whitney, Hannah, the top two for nominations, then backup plans, likely Brittany or Azza. I guess the one thing we will see this week, will Alyssa complete her Nicole F game this week when they get to sleep in the HOH bed together alone? Will there be any hand jobs? Will there be any sex? Will she lay it all on the line for the showmance only to lose the game? We shall see.